Hello and welcome to a look at Footballer of the Year for the Commodore 64, a game that was released by Gremlin, in which case you aim to become the Footballer of the Year by scoring an awful lot of goals. The game is a semi-management but not quite type of game, which probably sounds a bit convoluted, but it will make sense eventually once I get into showcasing the game. You start being a 17-year-old hopeful with £5,000 in your pocket, which is a decent chunk of change, I suppose. And sorry, by the way, for the burden background. I had to do this during the day. I hadn't had time before. But even though you do play for a certain team, I set up playing for Hereford. I don't know why, but I have a thing for Hereford apparently. The game advises that you start in 4th division to build up your skill, but anyway, your concern is your performance. The team you play for is completely irrelevant. Their performance is not super important, because as long as you're performing well and scoring an awful lot of goals, of course you will be noted and noticed, and as such you will be given potential chances to transfer into better clubs and things like that. Club loyalty, what's that? That is not what this game is about. This game is about you. You can get a view of the current statistics. We haven't started the season yet, so the team's morale is superb. Amount of goals we have scored. Chance cards, which is a bit like chance in Monopoly. Our statistics. Player status, player league, player rankings. And buy a transfer card. And if we are deemed okay by some random scout who will pop up, we may be getting a transfer. Obviously the wages we are being paid are depending on the division we play in, and being in 4th division we're not necessarily earning an awful lot of money, but we'll get there eventually. Load a save again. Should be rather self-explanatory, and if you get frustrated that you screw up, you can quit the game. The boot is playing the next match, and this is where the meat of the game, surprise surprise, lies, whatever you call it. The game features gold cards, and gold cards are used to improve your skill. And the way it works is, ahead of any fixture for the current week, you will be given a chance to use a gold card for each match. The gold cards will have a value of 1 to 3, which is completely and utterly random, so it's up to you to determine whether you want to spend a gold card on a specific match. Personally, I go for 2s and 3s, but depending on the situation, sometimes 1 will be useful. And then it's up to you to make use of those chances to score goals, because of course it's your goal scoring that will make people pay attention to you. The reason I'm saying this now is because the goal chances are either penalties or goal to defenders and the goalkeeper. Not exactly the most complicated game mechanic in the world, but you still have to try and score goals based on your goal cards. So let's start the season. Of course, the bird has decided to be very, very noisy at the moment, which is rather annoying. Sorry. Here we're told how much cash we got, and depending on which division your team is in, gold cards can be purchased at the following prices. And because we're in 4th division, they will cost £400 each. Presently we have 10 gold cards. Let's buy 5 more. Next gold card value is 1. No. 3 even. Yes, we'll take that one. And Luton, I probably have to for the League Cup. Okay. He's a decent goalie. Better than the Luton goalie. Sorry, I'm being a bit flustered by my bird making the noise in the background. Doesn't help my gameplay. This is how it's played out. You aim left or right with your joystick in order to place the ball, and then you press fire to shoot the ball. So, second leg. We win on aggregate, haha. That's basically how the goal scoring aspect of it plays out. Oh, what bad luck. Wait. Broken leg apparently. Okay. 800 lost. Incident cards. As I said, they're like chance cards in Monopoly. Some of them you have to score penalties, some of them you have to select an option like this one. And the cursor, the square cursor, will go down the 3 options, initially very slowly, and then, as you probably noticed, it escalates quite quickly in speed. And trying to hit one of the ones when all 3 are basically lit up because it's moving so fast is virtually impossible. But, yeah, well, we lost some money because of it. Some incident cards you acquire yourself, and some you have to take, like this one. No, we don't want to buy any more cards. That's a 2. Yeah, let's take that one. As you may or may not have noticed, when the gold cards are decided, sort of you put the gold cards for every single match in the current week's fixture, and then they are played out in one succession. There's no breaks in between, so if you don't pay attention to the bottom line of the screen saying who you're playing, you can be rather confused. But, oh well, we didn't score. Lovely. Still managed to draw the match. It would have been a win if I had actually been able to score. Let's try again. I know I still don't want to play any or buy any cards. No, sorry. You can speed this up by holding on spacebar, which I will do. Another draw. Okay, let's see how the morale of the team is. 19th. Morale is poor. Surprise. So, let's play again. No thanks. Yes, please. See if we can score some goals here. At this rate, yes. We can still lose. It's just our goals that's important. 4-1. Okay, that was another loss. Let's get an incident card. Score penalty and win yourself £600. Okie dokie, let's try that then. Alright! No. Obviously, if you run out of gold cards, you can't affect the match that you're currently playing. So, another draw. So you have to be a bit smart about it. And it's basically the use of the gold cards and accepting certain transfers, and well, you can't not accept transfers. If you are picked up by a scout, you transfer. But your input as the player is to play your gold cards right and try to earn transfers or buy them at important moments. Nope, I'll take a 3. You're not considered good enough. I know, I suck. I hate these. Haha. Another one. Ha! Watch me screw up. I'm very good at that. Another draw. 2-1, we still won. So, I don't necessarily want this video to keep running for ages and ages because of the burden background, which really gets on my nerves. As you can probably see from the graphics, there's not exactly the most advanced graphics in the world, but for the game's hype, it doesn't need to be. It's perfectly serviceable and it displays what it needs to display. the fact that you have a semi-management game with some player input action, besides refreshing, or was refreshing back then, because remember, this is a game from 1986. Not to forget, it's quite an old game. The sound, well, the music by Ben Daglish is definitely not bad, but I have to admit it gets a bit dreary after a while. But I suppose any piece of music will eventually do that. But the gameplay, you've seen the gameplay, I've thought about the gameplay, I've screwed up playing the gameplay. So that's what the game is about. Improving your own situation. And of course, I mean, if your club happens to win in the process, then that's cool, but as long as you keep scoring goals, that is the deciding factor in your player's fate, so to speak. Now, I have yet to fill up the Tuesday Let's Play slot kind of thing. And I was sort of thinking that a football management game might be a decent game to put in that slot. And I was sort of thinking something along the lines of this game. So, if not this, I will look for something else, but I need to get that slot filled. But if there's any interest in me carrying on playing this game, I can make that a Tuesday Let's Play slot thing. If not, I will just let this video stand as a single individual video. If there's any interest in carrying on, then I will start a new game, the same situation, Division 4 Hereford, but then I will be focusing on the fact that it's a longer term play thing. As for usual though, the game's not quite a management game, but it is to a certain point, because you still have to manage how you use your gold cards and applying for transfers at appropriate moments and all that kind of stuff. And of course you try to score as many goals as you can by being better at the game than I am currently. I find it surprisingly enjoyable, despite the fact that it's somewhat simplistic. But it is refreshing that you sort of have your own fate in your hand. You know, don't suck at the game and you'll progress, or you'll improve, you'll get better transfers and all that kind of stuff. But I suppose it's just a bit like that in real life. If you're good at what you're doing, then people will take note. And that is ultimately the aim of this game. Be good enough to be considered to be the footballer of the year. So on that note, I hope you found this remotely enjoyable. I will happily carry on playing more of it, but if it bores people, I would rather spend my time doing something more interesting. So on that note, thanks for watching, take care, see you next time, bye bye for now.